film that Ashley Thorpe has brought out, Borley Rectory, goes back a long way. I think he wrote the script 6 or 7 years ago, but in fact he's been fascinated by the subject since at least the late 70s. And I was approached, along with Reece Shearsmith, round about August of 2013. And we did a bit of filming the following summer, we did a bit of filming the summer after that, and then Ashley filmed with various actors local to him. And finally, now in October 2017, people are getting to see it, and the response is, it's delightful, to be honest. One of the exciting things about doing this film was the fact that I was asked to play Harry Price, who in the history of psychical research is of course an iconic figure and also a very controversial figure. The question still hangs rather tantalizingly, was he a serious researcher or was he in part a charlatan? And nobody has ever quite established the truth of that. And that was one of the things that drew me to it, the fact that we could maintain that enigma in this film and keep the audience guessing, because the worst thing I think you can do is to hand stuff to the audience on a plate. But if you can present them with a range of evidence and they can take their own conclusions, I think that's the best way. And I think that was very much Ashley's intention in making Borley Rectory, and I picked up on that, and that's hopefully what we've done.
The evening continued with further phenomena. A candlestick hurled down the stairwell, later followed by a rain of pebbles. Bells rang of their own volition. Even some of the bell pulls could be seen swinging of their own accord when we visited them.
I think Borley Rectory looks utterly unique. Ashley Thorpe has a vision, if you like. It's not a case of if you like, he definitely has a vision, and I think it is singularly his. For the actors, that was an interesting process, of course, because you were very much like one of the actors in a Ray Harryhausen film flinging spears at dinosaurs you couldn't see, because of course we all did it on green screen, and we had a bare minimum of props. Mrs. Smith had to find a skull in a bookcase, and the bookcase was there, and indeed the skull was there, and I had to be in a bed at one point, and happily there was actually a bed for me to lie in. But nevertheless, the props were quite minimal, and beyond that we were doing, I guess, all screen acting. Indeed, all acting depends on the imagination of the actor, but particularly so when you're acting in this particular context, because you really have to imagine everything around you. And one of the thrills of the finished film is that you finally see yourself embedded in Ashley's beautiful animated backgrounds, and it does actually conform quite closely to what one had in one's head. The film is currently showing at quite a few film festivals worldwide, actually, at least a dozen, possibly more, all across October and November, and I guess presumably after that too. I believe they've had interest from distributors and are considering their options, and I'm hopefully there will be a wider release for it, but that's very much a watch this space question at the moment. My future projects as an actor at the moment are, as with most actors, rather in the lap of the gods. I am quite well known for playing another famous bald-headed man from history, Kenneth Horne. And we did a new show just a couple of months ago called Horne A-Plenty, which is a marvellous title, implying that you'll get plenty of horn if you go and see it. And we did a tryout version of that show, and it went down a storm, and a tour is being planned at the moment, which hopefully will happen next year. As for writing, well, I wrote a very huge, taxing book recently called Eurogothic, and then I updated another book of mine called American Gothic. So I'm taking it a little easy there, but I'm writing articles and what have you, and plotting another book, but though that might take a while to come to fruition.